Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Lloyd Marshall Briggery, and this is episode 20. It might be 21. I'll have to check the stats of the 35-day comic book challenge. Actually, I think it's episode 20. Um, it is Sunday evening, right about 5 o'clock. So I'm telling you guys about yesterday and today in this update. So that's how we're gonna kind of go moving forward here. First of all, thank you for everybody who's tuning in, who you guys have been liking and commenting. I really appreciate that. I love the feedback. I love doing this journey with people watching because, it keeps me accountable, number one, but it also encourages me to keep going. So I really appreciate that because I am working harder than I've worked since I got out of the Kubert school in 2014. So this is kind of, it's refreshing, but it's like getting back in shape, you know. Cool thing about getting back in shape is you're getting back in shape, but like you get sore, you know what I mean? It's like, oh man, I wish I'd never gotten out of shape. And I'm never getting out of shape again, for that matter, because I don't have to go through this anymore. But real quick, yesterday, like I said, I've been trudging along, working on these pages. We're down to the last 2 weeks. Just been considering a lot of things. Also, as far as lessons that I've already learned from this process, I'm going to do a full episode on lessons learned for sure. But I think every day you guys have been tuning in, you've kind of noticed that every day is kind of a new lesson, or just something that is one to grow on. And I will say this: I was reading an article this morning at breakfast. Doug Mankey was getting interviewed, and he mentioned Patrick Gleason. Now, Doug Mankey is one of my most favorite artists for sure, and I love Patrick Gleason's work. They're both really great guys. I'm seeing interviews, and I know people that know them. I've never directly spoken to either one of them, so I'm not trying to name drop here, but it was just an interview, and apparently Pat Gleason started off as an assistant to Doug Mankey. The thing that really struck me is, one time in my life, and I've shared this with you guys before, one time in my life I really dedicated my all to a cause, to a goal, and that was my pursuit of becoming a basketball player. I didn't start playing basketball until I was 12, and for 15 years, till I was 27, that was my number one goal. And I did all right. We won the state championship in high school. I played Division I in college for a few years. Then I went overseas and played for a couple years, and I played for the United States Army for a season, and then it was over. And when it was over, it ended, and I promise there's going to be an episode about that one of these days, but it ended, and I literally haven't looked back ever since. I learned a lot in that process, and not only about myself and about process in general, but also about when you're on a quest or a journey like that, it is paramount that someone who's further along, that you link up with someone who's further along, and that could be a mentor, that could be a coach, that could be a teacher. There's someone who is better than you and knows more than you. You have to at some point be under that person in a sense to learn from them. Now, don't get me wrong, everyone out there that I've met that's self-taught, they learn by watching or learning from somebody else. So there's really no such thing as actually being self-taught per se, but we definitely gain a lot from other people's experience. Well, getting back to the Mankey-Pat Gleason thing, Mankey said he immediately knew Gleason was going to be a comic book artist when he met him. I guess Gleason was in high school, probably a junior or a senior, and when he first met him, he said the kid pulled out, as a kid, now this was years ago, because they're both adults, but he said the kid pulls out about 40 or 50 comic books that were a minimum of 22 pages. Now, you can do the math on that. That's literally hundreds, if not thousands, of pages of storytelling. This is very odd for anyone that knows, people who aspire to do comics usually have a sketchbook full of, pinup illustrations of people that float in the air, or their favorite characters in a certain style. That's kind of how we all start. But not this kid, Pat Gleason, man. Apparently he came in as a storyteller, which is great. Now, what was interesting about that was it really struck me in a way that I find odd. I mean, I'm pushing 40 here. I'm 36 years old, and I'm just now really starting to understand the level of work and commitment that it's going to take to really be successful and to do this as a career, i.e., pay my bills, make a living off of. And, in these moments, I don't know about you guys, but I have to like really get honest with myself. And the question becomes, are you willing to put in that much work? And my answer is yes, without a doubt. Without hesitation, it's yes. But you need to understand how much work is in front of you in order to make an informed decision. And I realized, like this comic book that I'm working on, like it's great that I'm doing it and I'm having fun doing it, and I hope you guys are having fun watching it, and I love it. But this is the first step in a journey that will at least have 1,000,000 steps. Like it's like the first step. You're gonna take a trip around the globe in a straight line. You're just gonna go. It's gonna take a while, and that's all right. But hearing that about Patrick Gleason really encouraged me. Actually, it took the pressure off of like this needing to be the project that gets me. This is like my big break. Like it doesn't need to be that. And I think somewhere deep down, I was hoping that that's what it would be, and that added a little bit of anxiety to my approach. This really just really diffused all of that, getting this knowledge. And if you guys look up Pat Gleason, just Google his work. Like he's awesome. Look up Doug Mankey. He's amazing. But just to know that there's X amount of labor involved, and then just relying on my experience in basketball, knowing that when you do throw yourself into something fully, that level of commitment, just having to experience that, I know what it feels like to, you go to bed early, you wake up early, it's on your mind, all your free time is not free, like you're doing this. Like I get it more now than I got it a week ago or a month ago. And I'm grateful for it. And I'm grateful like to be at the Kubert School where I can be around guys and ladies that know more than I do, that are further along in the journey than I am, because I could, in an email or just go by their office, or their classroom and say, hey, can you take a look at this? So I appreciate that, and I don't take it for granted. And so, a lot of times when we have to regroup or rethink things, we think we have to start at zero or back to the beginning. But no, I don't have to go back to square one. Like, say I'm on square 20, maybe I'll go back to square 15, and reassess and then go from there. But long story short, guys and gals, generally speaking, you have access to the things that you need to make yourself successful. You have access to the resource. What we have to do, what I have to bring to the table is not more resources. I don't have to go out and get more supplies or better supplies or, take another course, although I should never stop learning. What I need to be is more resourceful with the resources that are already at my disposal. And so I encourage you guys, really take a look around and assess what you do have at your disposal. Oh, by the way, best website in the world, right? Google.com. If there's some information out that you don't know, you can type it up. But with social media and conventions, like we have access to each other like never before. So, guys, be resourceful in your pursuit for whatever your dreams are. And devote yourself to a hard work. It's faith and works. It's belief and hard work. Like you need both. You have to have a guiding thought, a trust in, oh, this work will pay off, but you got to work. You got to put in that work. All right? So, without any further ado or any more shenanigans, I'm about to go do some more work. Hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll catch you tomorrow. Thanks for your attention and your time. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right, y'all. Hey, the mission, the saga continues. So, we got to continue too. Charlie Mike, y'all. Peace.